XAI is integrated into the Allegro X platform solution. So you can open up any printed circuit board design within Allegro X. Once you have the printed circuit board design open, you can open the XAI interface, which will expose an additional panel on the right-hand side. Once the interface is open, you'd want to make sure and go through and do your basic design setup. The basic design setup includes things like making sure you have your key components placed and locked in location for mechanical constraints or input and output constraints. You also want to make sure you have any differential pairs set up and defined as differential pairs, and also any power and ground nets that you want XAI to pour on power and ground layers, you would want to define as ground nets or assign a voltage property and set it up as a power net. Also, set up the cross-section that you want XAI to use under the cross-section menu. You can also experiment with different cross-sections with XAI. Finally, you can set up component key pins based upon the board outline to ensure XAI will place all the components within a reasonable distance from the edge of the board. Once the design is set up, return to the XAI panel and create a workspace. You can think of these as just folders on the XAI cloud. You can give the workspace any name. Once you have the workspace available, upload the board. This is going to take the board from your local system and put it onto the Amazon Web Services cloud. Once there, you can provide some more setup, like telling XAI to do placement only and set up the power and ground nets. This is where you tell XAI what layers in the design you want it to pour the different power and ground nets. And you can add any nets in the design to this form. You can set up the voltage for the net, and you can also even set up the current sink for the net to run the preliminary DC analysis with XAI on the power and ground system. You can also go into setup to tell the engine how you want it to do component-based placement for ICs, discretes, and test points in the design. Once everything is set up, you hit the run button to run XAI. Once the run is complete, you can look at the results provided by an overview of different charts and graphs letting you know how it performed against different constraints and DRCs. If the results look good, you can download the results, which will then open the results inside of the Allegro X platform. Shown here, you can see the color visualizations of all the placement clusters. You can review the placement that was done by XAI, and you can also review the power and grain pouring that was done by XAI.